What's cracking, guys? It's Bruce Matson, your host show, Metrics Got Fantasy Football, a show that deep dives individual players from a fantasy football perspective. And I also grind the tape so you know what these players look like and go deep on the metrics. The only guy that does that. Usually when you see a fantasy guy, analyst, content creator, whatever they want to call themselves, they either do one or two avenues, usually the metric side because that's easier. I do it all. I give it all to you. So if that's something you're interested in, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, tell your homies. It means a lot to me. It helps fuel the channel. Today I want to talk about Ja'Marr Chase, pretty much because he is the golden boy. He is the golden child of Dynasty Fantasy Football, and also redraft any fantasy format because this dude's been blowing up. He's wide receiver 3 right now in PPR. He's caught 35 balls, 754 yards, and 6 touchdowns. The dude looks legit. He looks like an alpha. He looks like he's going to be good for a long time. And this was kind of easy to project. The only thing that was kind of hairy is he didn't play for a whole year. However, everything in his collegiate profile kind of matched up. Early breakout age, good production numbers. Played in the same field as Justin Jefferson, and he outplayed him. And Justin Jefferson blew up last year as a rookie. Top rookie wide receiver. He was the golden child going into this year, and he just gave a seat to Ja'Marr Chase. From a workload perspective, 25% target share on the year, 43% share of the air yards, getting targeted downfield. Last 3 games, he's been averaging 4.04 yards per route run. He has 3.35 yards per route run on the season. Fabulous. If you're over 3, you're solid. 3.35 is really good, especially for a rookie. And he's averaging 7.8 yards after the catch per reception. So every time he catches the ball, he's a threat to break some tackles and get that yak, score, make big gains. He is gangbusters with the ball in his hands. But from a Dynasty Fantasy Football perspective, what are we valuing this dude? What are we paying for this guy? Are we paying for this guy? Should we? Honestly, if you have to ask me how much you got to sell him for, how much should you take in an offer, it's not enough. Ja'Marr Chase, if you have him on your team and you are willing to trade him off, it really has to be a Godfather offer. The other party has to come with you with all the assets that you want. You come away from that deal 100% happy. And I don't even care what it is. If it's 5 first-round picks, 10, 12 players, you set your price with an asset like this. And I get it. I don't want to pay that, and I'm not going to pay that, and I'm probably just going to move down to the next player. And that's how that works. But when you get a player like this, 21 years old, blowing up, wide receivers last for a long time in the league, and you're expecting top tier wide receiver 1 production on a consistent basis for multiple years on end like this, you can't sell them but nothing but on the super astronomical high. And that's just how the game's played. And if not, you hold them, you enjoy the points, the scoring, your wins, you keep letting it ride. I wouldn't sell him unless I got an offer that I couldn't refuse. It had to be something crazy that I wouldn't expect come my way. More than likely, that's not going to happen. People are more frugal than that when it comes to trading up for players. And the only way I'm acquiring him from here on out is if something happens to him and that reduces his value, or I'm in a startup draft, I got the 101, 102, 103, and I'm able to select them. Startup draft value, it really depends on where you're at, who's valuing what. If you're valuing running backs over receivers, which some people may do considering the depth at the wide receiver position, you may see someone take like a DeAndre Swift or one of the other running backs over him, and then see that person strategically stack up wide receivers on the back end. You could also see a lot of people take the 101, 102 on Ja'Marr Chase and be happy with that. I expect him to be top 3 pick no matter what by the end of the season, especially if he keeps this up. If he keeps this up, he's a 101. He should be a 101 because you do not get wide receivers doing this too often. I get it. There's running backs, but there'll always be running backs. You can always pick them up on the back end next year on rookie drafts, or you can get veterans at a cheaper rate to patch those holes so you can get production. But Ja'Marr Chase does not come to you once a year. You get them like once every decade or so. You may think we throw away the term generational prospect too often, but honestly, at this rate of what we're seeing from Ja'Marr Chase from a production standpoint, workload standpoint, efficiency standpoint, we do not hardly ever see this. We're just fortunate that we had Justin Jefferson the year prior, and really Chase is looking a lot better than what Jefferson did last year. He's just a bulletproof prospect. He's a guy that if you have on your fantasy team, your dynasty roster, he's a guy that if you happen to have on your dynasty roster, you're happy to have him for as long as you can keep him for his entire career because you know he's going to be productive. You're not thinking about selling him. And when you do, that's when there's some rust building up along the bottom of the chassis or whatever. He's starting to show his age, and that's years away. Ja'Marr Chase isn't going to fall off a cliff anytime soon. We know he's good. We know he's good. We know he's going to ball out for a while. And when it comes to trades, set your price. If you want 5 first-round picks, if you want all the first-round picks for the last 10 years, set your price. You may not get many deals done, but don't give them away. It's pretty much what I'm saying. I'm just extrapolating from there. Again, Chase is damn good. I want to thank you for watching the show, sticking with me. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Every subscription matters. It fuels me to keep putting out this content. Fuels me to help you guys with your fantasy teams. If you got questions, drop them in the comments. And I love going over the film breakdowns with you guys. If you got a player you want me to talk about, let me know. Again, I want to thank you, and I'll catch you next time.